The festive fixtures coming thick and fast, though. We've just talked about the game that's happening in West London. Well, in North London, Arsenal welcome Brighton to the Emirates Stadium. Let's hear from the managers, starting with Mikel Arteta.
What they've done, I think, over the last 10 years is incredible. And they have different managers, and now Fabian's came in and brought some very different ideas as well. A lot of energy, a really, really committed team, and look very, very together. A lot of quality. They can play in different ways. They have versatile players, so it's going to be a tough match.
We know the issue. The issue is we have to overcome the consistency thing. We have to play for 90 minutes well. We have to understand that it's about scoring goals. It's about defending the goals, doing the small margins right, and not only for 10 or 15 minutes. It's about doing it for 90, 92 minutes, 93 minutes. And I think if we're doing this, we are very difficult to beat. If we're doing this, we can play a good season.
Arsenal, the last couple of games, Shay, what have you made of it? Because if you know, the own goals to beat Wolves, that penalty against Everton, even the League Cup semi-final in midweek to reach the League Cup semi-finals, you know, it was really, really tough penalty shootout.
I think there's two ways of looking at it. One, you could say a good team don't play that well sometimes, but get the job done, which is one way of looking. The other way of looking is they look a bit nervy. There's a bit of tension. Manchester City, obviously, we know how good they are, 2 points behind. Are they twitching a bit at this early stage? Because it's still only halfway through the season. There's still so much football to play. And I think for any neutral who loves the Premier League, that's what they want to see. They want to see Aston Villa, they want to see Chelsea, want to see Man City, Liverpool. And of course, Arsenal challenging all the way to the last couple of games. Can they do the course of the season? Can they get over the psychology of coming second so many times in the last number of years? That is the big question.
Yeah, because everyone makes a lot about being top at Christmas. They've been there a couple of times and not gone on to win the league.
Do you know what? I think they looked like they were going to run away with it, Arsenal. They were by far the best team. They've probably got the deepest squad. You know, goal scoring was an issue last season. They seem to have addressed that. They drew too many games. They seem to address that. I think the positive is they're still getting results. Last season, they would have drew a lot of these games. They're finding a way to win games. And definitely they're starting to feel a little bit of the pressure, but that's normal, after what's happened the past few seasons. But I think now they have a squad that can actually manage this pressure, and they need to do it together. There's not many guys in there that have won the biggest trophies. I think only really Zubamendi and Marino, obviously with Spain, but with club, there's not many guys that have won. So they're going to have to do this together. Even Mikel, they're in this journey together. When he took over, 6 years ago, they were nowhere. And he's built them up to be one of the right now, the best team in the Premier League. But the only way they can get to be one of the best, or one of the Invincibles, is win it. And they're so close, they're so complete. But I think this pressure time right now, they need to find a way to get through it. And I think they are getting through it.
Do you think they're psychologically scarred a wee bit because they've finished second in the last three seasons, whatever?
Do you know what? I think,
or do you think that's something that they'll use as a strength?
I thought they overachieved in many ways, finishing second. I don't think they did it without a striker, without the squad depth. I think now with Gyokeres and Madueke and Eze, I think all of a sudden now they have a squad where they can compete with that. But I do think they're in a good position right now. I think they have virtually everything: the goalkeeper, the back four. But they need to find a way to get through this little blip. They're not playing great, but they're still winning, Jules, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah, you talk about squad depth, but the truth is that back line has really suffered. They've played Christian Norgard at centre-back. They've played Julian Timber at centre-back as well. They've got 4 first-choice centre-backs, and yet they've not had all 4 of them available. They've certainly not had Gabriel. They've had Saliba out as well. And Capier's injured now. Mosquera's injured. Yeah. Anyone's going to struggle with that.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe you could say they recruited heavily in the forward areas because they've got so many top players going forward, but it's still, I think they've still got enough numbers. Calafiori can play in there, Ben White can even play centre half. There's different options for Arteta to play in that position. And again, I think the midfield in front of that, Declan Rice again having a phenomenal season.
Zubamendi's been great.
Zubamendi as well. They've been so powerful in that midfield and attacking areas. You look at Odegaard be missing, you step Eze up to the plate. They've got so many different options. Havertz as they come back into the team as well. Jesus has just come back fit now. They've got so many players.
Trossard's underrated, isn't he?
Yeah. Trossard's under Martinelli's got up with some important goals. I mean, the names and they just go on. And that's what Arteta's done. He's built a great squad. But what you would say, he's been backed. I think he spent nearly £1 billion on this squad of players. You'd like to think he's got strength and depth. But what that does do, Jules, it brings pressure as well. It brings pressure to him to deliver a big trophy. And they're in a strong position now, but still a lot of games to come.
Yeah, and just as I mentioned, into the semi-finals of the League Cup now, facing their London rivals, Chelsea, in that two-legged semi-finals. Can they win a trophy? Can they win more than one trophy? Will they?
Of course they can. I think they've been one of the best teams in the Champions League as well. And I think what they've got to learn to understand is pressure is a privilege. They've earned the right to have pressure, expectations, but now they just got to finish the job. They can win multiple trophies this season. They got to go over this little hurdle. They're finding a way to win, not pretty, but I think they got to embrace the pressure. If they do, they can have one of the most spectacular seasons they've had ever.
Arsenal versus Brighton to come. That's one of the games to look forward to this weekend, but plenty of action around the Premier League, and some scintillating festive goals in the Premier League. We're hoping for more of that this weekend as the festive football continues. Let's round up a couple more games that you can look forward to. We start with Liverpool's clash against Wolves.
No, it's going to be a long injury for a couple of months. So, that's a big disappointment for him. And as a result of that, of course, also for us. This was, for me, a reckless challenge, the tackle of Van der Ven. If you make that tackle 10 times, I think 10 times, there's a serious chance that a player gets a serious injury.
It's really difficult to just be able to go, right, go and have some belief and confidence there, lads, go on and go and change that. The only way we can do that is continue to work really, really hard here, try and do the right things every day, and hope things will turn.
It's really positive. Get 27 points at that stage in the season. It shows the quality of the group once again, because if you are not at the level in this league, you can't win points. Maybe you can create like an illusion at the beginning, but it doesn't last over half of the season.
Good times for everyone who is involved here. For Leeds United, and we know that we are in a good shape and have delivered really some impressive performance, and 8 points out of the last 4 difficult games is really good outcome, but we're also far away from losing the ground under our feet, or not to stay humble or whatever. We know it's still a long road.
It's a great team, he's a very good manager there, and we invested a lot of money, so I think they have different goals than Crystal Palace. They have different opportunities than Crystal Palace, and to win against them means that we have to show a great performance.
I'm a big believer of having be top professional, and that's something I believe the players are and should be, and some need to be guided more than others. But also they are grown-up individuals that if I need to hold their hand the whole time, we have a bigger problem.
Will you be weighing your players in for this next game?
I think it's unlikely. I presume you're mentioning about Pep. Is he weighing himself into it? Oh no, one rule for one. Come on, Pep. Speaking with the players to use a bit of common sense. You know, I don't mind them having a Christmas dinner. Why not? You know, sometimes the psychology is as important as anything. You know, with athletes, and you know, within reason, you want them to enjoy their Christmas day. I certainly do.
Had been incredible discipline since 10 years ago. Last season, for the inches that we had, was a little bit more difficult, but always behaved unbelievably. All the players I had in the last decade, and that is not an exception today. Always have been a tough place to go. For the crowd, especially for the quality they have. It's a team invest a lot in the last years and was promoted in the Premier League, and they are really good set.
Now we heard Pep Guardiola talking about discipline, and this is Erling Haaland weighing in after Christmas, saying all good, he's made the cut.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think discipline's an issue for Erling Haaland.
No.
He's probably one of the best pros. He's one of the best strikers, he's one of the best pros, best athletes. He's obviously had a bit of fun, because I think Pep said if you're three kilos overweight, you come back in. So it's waiting before the Wolves game, and then obviously before the game after Christmas, he'll weigh him again. He said if you're 3 kilos overweight, you're not even travelling. So to put the boys under a little bit of pressure, slow down on that Christmas turkey, maybe have a salad, or have some protein like Erling Haaland. But it's good that the manager plants a seed like that, because it makes the boys stay disciplined.
I feel like breathing in for this segment as we speak. suck my jaws in a bit and stuff.
Stomach's in, chest out.
No, I mean, to be fair, Pep's right, and they're all very professional, the players, the modern day players. But Sean Dyche makes a good point on all that piece as well about the psychology of having a turkey dinner. It's not the end of the world. They're not going to put on 3 kilos by eating a turkey dinner. And sometimes having a comfort meal, the very odd time, is not the end of the world, is it? For these elite athletes.
Yeah,
like us.
What that means, Christmas and all the talk of New Year fixtures coming up, it means that the transfer window is very close to opening. And there's been a lot of talk about one Antoine Semenyo.
He is so good. Whoever gets him, I mean, it sounds like pretty much the whole Premier League's up for him.
Yeah.
And Bournemouth, they can't afford to keep losing these players, but he's obviously got a buyout clause, I think, for the first part of the window, and you'd like to think somebody's going to activate that. And he'll have to pick up wherever he wants to go. I think if Manchester City get him, big problem for everyone. Could you imagine him on one side and Doku on the other? Cherki and Foden. I mean, Rodri still to come back with Erling Haaland and Donnarumma. He is a special player, one of the best athletes, 2-footed, quick, great finisher. He makes every team in the Premier League better instantly.
Do you think that'll be the decisive factor in the league title race? If they get him?
He could be, he is that good. And the cool thing is he can play multiple positions. And he's smart, and I think he'll probably want to take the next step in his career, but whether it's Chelsea or City or Liverpool or United, everybody could do it.
It's interesting where he does go himself from a personal level, because he's right, Man City would be a perfect fit as well. But also there's so many quality players and attacking areas. Would he go to like a Man United who maybe need a more attacking player, but maybe he's not a 10?
Maybe that's why one of the reasons they changed the formation, to say, look,
or perhaps like a Liverpool with a big talk about Mo Salah. Is he going to leave maybe in this window? Would somebody like Semenyo, if Mo went for 100 million, say the Saudi, they bought him for 65. He'd be there for the next 10 years, for example, at Liverpool. It'd be a perfect club for him as well. There's so many people. It feels like the January sales, the 1st of January, they're all going to jump in and try and get him. But it'd be interesting to see where his head is.
Yeah.
Where does he want to go? Does he want to go to a City who could possibly get their hands on the title?
I mean, that's what I've been reading, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of been
Bernardo Silva's playing that position at the minute, and he's getting on a bit, and it would be the perfect fit, wouldn't it? And again, it'd be alarming for all the other clubs if City sign him as well.
Do you know the player that City already have, and who perhaps is in the conversation with the best midfielder in the Premier League right now, is Ryan Cherki?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff he does, I've seen a flick of Rabono, what's it called?
Rabono.
A few weeks back, and Pep wasn't happy with it, but he set up a goal for Phil Foden. It was a brilliant, assist from him, but he can do special things on the ball, and he's really young as well. He's only going to get better, he's only going to improve. I think there's question marks, in France about when they didn't have the ball, tracking back and things like that, but on the ball in the forward areas, he's a special player.
Let's move on to Liverpool now, because Arne Slot, kind of at the start of that preview, was talking about Alexander Isak, how disappointing it is to be without him for what looks like a couple of months.
Such a shame. He scored such a good goal, and obviously the tackle from Van der Ven ended up causing the injury. And he's been so unlucky since he's gone there. He hasn't really got that run of form, but you'd have to say Hugo Ekitike is a special player. Yeah. Really, really special player. Technically, obviously, he's a good finisher. The thing I like about him is the way I know it's going to sound ridiculous, the way he celebrates. He has the confidence of like a really special player. He looks like he's embraced the pressure of playing at Anfield. They need somebody to grab that number 9 shirt, and he's done that. Isak costs more money, but right now Ekitike is the player. Havertz is starting to play a bit better. Szoboszlai has been their player of the season, but I do think if Conor Bradley stays fit and healthy, this Liverpool team can go on a big run and push everybody.
Of all the players who've come into the Premier League from outside this season, you think Ekitike is probably one of those who've settled the best and had the best start?
Yeah, I think so. I think, a lot of people come from a different country and a different language, and it takes time to settle in. But he's hit the ground running, really has. He scored early on in his Liverpool career, and I think when you go to a big club, that's hugely important. Valdemar, I suppose, at Newcastle, scored in his debut as well. But you look at Sesko, perhaps, and other centre-forwards who've moved the scene. Isak's stop-start as well, to be fair, gone to Liverpool, stop-start. But Ekitike looks like the real deal, and he'll have to step up now. Isak's got a really bad injury, he has to step up. He'll play every single game, it seems now, that way. Salah's missing, Gakpo's out injured. They have got some issues in attacking positions as well, but I think Ekitike in that player, they've got a player who looks the part as well, scored for France recently as well. He's really, a top striker.
And he's already settled really quickly, as you mentioned. I'm not sure if you've seen the video of him doing his Scouse accent.
Not yet, no.
Pretty good. It's pretty good, yeah. I'll send you the video on Instagram.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Liverpool's still very far behind the kind of leading pack. Are we saying that they are out of the title race, that they won't be able to defend their title, or do you think it's too early to say?
too early. I mean, they're on, 10 points behind? But I do think that they can go on a run. And again, they're a bit like Man United. You know, they don't keep enough clean sheets. They don't defend well enough. They concede too many goals. They signed all these attacking players, a bit fantasy football-esque. But actually, the most important thing is you got to defend well. See that with Arsenal. You defend well. You know, they've got a brilliant goalkeeper in Alisson. But I think even Van Dijk, you know, all the positions around him have changed. Konate's not been his best. The left back has changed a lot. Gyokeres has played instead of Robertson. At right back, they've missed Trent a lot. So I think it's unsettled the whole defence. I think if they can keep clean sheets, Liverpool can go on a big run and get back up that league table.
And it starts against Wolves at Anfield, bottom club. Wolves still looking for a first victory this season, only 2 points, right in trouble there. Right, this is the final team talks of 2025, which I've just been reminded I completely forgot. You know what that means? Final predictions of 2025. In case, do you remember how that works? We'll tell you the fixture and you'll give us the prediction. You only have 9 to do because United have already beat Newcastle. Pretty straightforward. Let's start with
I predicted United win.
Did you?
Well done, 1-0?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Perfect.
I said score draw for that one.
Oh, okay. Forest versus City.
I'm going for an away victory, Man City, definitely.
Yeah, 2-0 Man City.
Arsenal Brighton.
3-1 Arsenal.
I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
Brentford Bournemouth.
Oof. I'm going to go for a squeaky 1-0 to Brentford.
Score draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
Burnley Everton.
1-0 Everton.
I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley. I think they might get the result, Scotty Parker.
Liverpool Wolves.
That's a no-brainer. It's just how many will Liverpool score?
5-0. 5-0 Liverpool.
4-0 I go.
Okay, confidently so.
Are you getting any predictions here or just us?
No, not me.
Okay.
I asked the questions. Right. West Ham versus Fulham.
I'm going to go 1-0 Fulham.
Oof, I was going to go 1-0 West Ham. West Ham can't slip up anymore. They have to really start getting results, and I think they need to win at the weekend.
Okay, this one you can elaborate a little bit more because it is the kind of big one of the weekend. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. What are we going to see? Who's going to score, perhaps?
Special game. You know, Aston Villa on an incredible run. I think Unai Emery, with his experience, he'll fancy this occasion. I think Chelsea will dominate the ball, but I think Aston Villa will win the game. Chelsea need Cole Palmer to step up and have a huge game. He's back fit and healthy. They need him. The battle of the tens with Rodgers and Cole Palmer. But I think Aston Villa, they continue the run and Aston Villa win.
Scoreline for us?
I'm going to go 2-1 Aston Villa.
Shay?
Yeah, I fancy Aston Villa. I feel they can do no wrong at the minute, and I think there's a belief within that squad. Owen mentioned before about they've given up a bit of possession, and they might do that at Stamford Bridge at the weekend as well. I feel it's going to be a really tight, close game. I think, you know, defensively they're really strong, Aston Villa as well. Martinez, the goalkeeper, I like a lot. So I'm going to go for an away victory, but just by 1-0 to the Villa.
Oh, are we going to see the celebration on which side?
Well, Rodgers for me is only 1 goal, my side.
I think they're both going to do it. Call the score, but I think Rodgers will score. And I think Aston Villa need Ollie Watkins. I think it's a big opportunity for him. He's only got 3 league goals this season. I think he scores.
Okay, let's move on to Sunday's games. There's Sunderland versus Leeds.
Well, Sunderland have surprised a lot of people, haven't they, this season, and especially at home as well. So, as an ex-Newcastle player, it pains me to say they're going to get another victory. I'm going to go for 2-1 to Sunderland.
Yeah, they're brilliant at home, Sunderland. Expect them to win the game comfortably. I think it'll be 2-0.
Even without some of their stars going to AFCON?
Yeah,
no, they're good.
Point. That's a good point. You never thought of that, did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. But you know what? Goalkeeper's brilliant. Granit Xhaka's in there. You know, I thought the recruitment's been amazing. I think somebody will step up and provide the goals that they need.
Palace Spurs?
Well, Spurs are in, 14th? You know, they need a result. I think Crystal Palace will win.
Yeah, me as well. I definitely think Gosling, the job he's done, and especially at home as well. I think Tottenham are struggling, so I'm going to go for a home victory, say 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Okay, not sure whether we will see you guys on the show again as a duo. Champions in 2026.
Were we that bad?
Champions in 2026, quickly. Champions.
I'm going Man City.
Arsenal.
For 2025 and Team Talks, it's been wonderful with you this year, but the Premier League continues. Enjoy the festive football, and we'll see you on Team Talks in 2026. Bye.